Okay, let's unpack this. You ever feel like the AI news cycle is just a blur, moving so fast?
Totally. 1 minute it's small updates, the next it feels like, well, science fiction.
Exactly. And it's tough sometimes to figure out what's really a game changer versus just noise.
Yeah, you need a filter.
Which is what we try to do here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through it all to get to the important bits.
And this week, wow, quite a haul. We've been digging into the latest AI tools and models, the real state-of-the-art stuff.
Right. Alongside some pretty big news from the major players, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, all just from this past week.
It's a lot to cover.
It is. So our mission, as always, is to cut through that hype, give you a clear picture of what's actually happening at the cutting edge.
We've basically got two piles of info we looked at.
Yep. First, these new AI tools and models popping up. And second, the big headlines from Tesla, Google, and Microsoft, specifically from the week of April 21st to 26th, 2025.
Ready to get a handle on it?
Let's do it.
Okay, these tools and models first. Some really remarkable stuff happening.
First up is Grok-1.5 Vision. That's from xAI. Now, this is multimodal, right? Text and images.
Exactly. And what's really interesting, what jumped out at me is its supposed ability to understand, like, spatial relationships.
Right.
In the real world.
Some an image.
Yeah. The reports say it's actually outperforming models like GPT-4V, Claude 3, even Gemini Pro 1.5 on specific benchmarks for this. Real-world QA, I think it was.
So it's not just saying, that's a cat, that's a table. It knows the cat is on the table.
Kind of, yeah, but potentially much more complex than that.
Yeah.
Understanding the 3D arrangement, how things relate physically, that's a big step.
Okay, yeah, that feels fundamental. What kind of things does that enable, practically speaking?
Well, think about analyzing complex documents with charts and diagrams. You could understand how everything connects visually, not just the text.
Ah, right.
Or a visual Q&A. Point your phone at a messy room, ask a really specific question about where something is relative to something else. And then there's robotics, obviously. Huge potential there. Augmented reality, making it feel more grounded. Creative tasks, too.
And it's out there. Or coming soon.
It's on iOS currently, apparently. The
Yeah.
Android version is supposed to be coming soon.
Yeah.
So they seem keen to get it out there.
Okay, interesting. Next, Genspark AI Slides. I feel like anyone who makes presentations is leaning in right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's described as an agentic tool.
Agentic, meaning?
Meaning it's sort of like an AI assistant that you give a task to, and it just goes off and does all the steps needed. In this case, building a presentation.
Automatically, or from what?
From text prompts, or you can feed it documents, Word, Excel, PDFs, even just raw data, apparently.
So you could just like dump your research notes in and say, make me some slides.
That seems to be the idea. And it's not just basic stuff. It claims to synthesize info, design custom layouts, make charts, tactical maps.
Tactile maps. Okay.
Yeah, even embed video or AI audio.
Yeah.
Plus, you can chat with it afterwards to tweak things, then export to PowerPoint or PDF.
That sounds potentially amazing for professional educators too, I bet.
Yeah, huge time saver if it works well.
Okay, shifting to mobile. Perplexity Assistant. Android only, for now.
That's right, Android exclusive. The main thing here is deep integration into the OS, into your apps.
So it's voice activated and works across apps without switching.
That's the goal. Handle simple stuff, complex stuff.
Yeah.
All without leaving what you're doing. You trigger it with a gesture or button press.
Like having Perplexity's power overlaid on whatever you're doing.
Pretty much, yeah. It sort of pops up over your current screen.
Yeah.
Very convenient, potentially.
But the catch is no iOS version yet.
Not yet, no. Apple users wait.
Story of our lives sometimes. Okay, back to visuals. OpenAI's got GP Image 1. What's new here compared to, say, DLE?
Seems like their next generation, definitely more sophisticated. It does text to image, image to image like before, but the in-painting sounds much improved.
In-painting, that's where you edit part of the image.
Right. Using text prompts or just drawing a box around the area.
Yeah.
They're also talking about much more granular control.
Granular control, meaning what exactly? More detailed prompts.
Yeah, like being able to give super specific instructions for tiny details. And apparently it's way better at rendering text within the image. That's always been a bit iffy.
Oh, that's a big one.
Definitely. Plus, more aspect ratios, higher resolution, minimum 1024 by 2424. And they're stressing the safety features. Moderation.
Use cases. What are they suggesting?
Things like detailed educational content, storybooks, game assets, maybe even UI design elements. Though they do note occasional issues still with text clarity and visual consistency. Sometimes it's not perfect.
Still, sounds like a big leap in creative power. Now, something maybe a bit more niche? Tavus SoTA Lipsync Model. Hummingbird Zero.
Yeah, Hummingbird Zero. The key phrase here is zero shot.
Zero shot lip sync, so no training needed.
Exactly. It takes a video of someone talking, takes a new audio track, and syncs the lips precisely, without needing to train the model on that specific person's face or voice beforehand.
Wow, how good is it?
Reports claim it outperforms existing methods significantly. Better visual quality, more accurate sync, preserves the person's identity better, even handles rare dialects and complex speech patterns well.
Okay, that sounds huge for dubbing localization.
Absolutely. Game changer potential for media, entertainment, global communication. It's available for research preview now, and there's commercial pricing too. About $2.10 a minute, I saw.
Pricey for casual use, but yeah, big industry implication.
Okay.
Okay, next. Tavus SoTA Speech AI Model from Nari Labs. Expressive open source TTS. Break that down.
Okay, so TTS is text-to-speech. Dia aims to make that speech sound really realistic and expressive, not robotic.
Oh, expressive.
You can control the emotional tone, speaker changes within the text, even add nonverbal stuff like laughter or sighs just using simple tags in the input text.
Okay, neat. And it can clone voices.
Yes, based on audio samples you provide. But the other big part is open source.
Right. Apache 2.0 license that's quite permissive.
Very. Means anyone can use it, modify it, even commercially, for free.
Yeah.
And you can run it locally, Python or command line. No cloud needed.
And how does it compare?
Benchmarks suggest it's doing really well, even against big names like 11 Labs or Google's models, especially on dialogue, naturalness, and emotion.
So open source really challenging the proprietary players here. That's great to see.
Definitely democratizing high-quality TTS.
Okay, another image generator. Dremina AI. How does this one differ maybe from the OpenAI one we just talked about?
Drema seems more focused on maybe artistic flexibility and editing tools for creators. It does text to image and image to image, but offers a whole range of styles, anime, portraits, landscapes.
And the editing.
Yeah, it has built-in tools for in-painting like the others, but also upscaling to 4K, expanding the image borders, removing objects, and layer-by-layer editing, which sounds quite powerful.
So aimed squarely at designers, artists, marketers, people who want control.
Feels like it. Seems popular already, and they have free and paid plans, so they want broad reach.
Right. And lastly for the tools, ChatGPT Deep Research Mini, now available for free users. That sounds big.
It is pretty significant, yeah. This is basically a more accessible version of their heavy-duty research tool.
Well, what does it do exactly?
It uses public web data to conduct sort of multi-step research on complex topics and generates detailed reports with citations.
Even for free users?
Yep. There's a limit, like 5 tasks per month for free users, paid tiers get more, but it puts a pretty powerful research capability in a lot more hands.
Useful for students, journalists, finance, law, anyone needing cited info.
Absolutely. Democratizing research automation, in a way.
So, if you pull back and look at all these tools, what's the big picture?
It's just relentless advancement, isn't it? AI seeing and understanding space, tools boosting productivity seamlessly, open source nipping at the heels of proprietary giants in speech and video, creativity pushed further, research automated.
It's moving fast. Okay, let's pivot to the big tech news. Tesla, Google, Microsoft. What's the latest with Tesla and autonomy? Still all in on Robotaxis.
Oh yeah. They just reaffirmed the plan. Austin, Texas, Robotaxi service launch starting June 2025.
June 25. That's soonish. How big a launch?
Starting small, 10 to 20 Model Ys using their full self-driving tech. But the plan is to scale up fast and hit other U.S. cities by the end of next year.
And they're still working on that dedicated vehicle, the Cybercab.
Yep. Development continues on that purpose-built autonomous vehicle.
Are they testing this stuff much now?
They are. There's a supervised FSD ride-hailing program just for employees running in Austin and the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Racked up quite a few miles already.
Supervised, meaning a human is still ready to take over.
Right. And they're also testing remote operator roles, someone who can assist remotely if the car gets stuck or confused. So, cautious progress.
And the engine behind this is still their AI infrastructure, right? Dojo.
Definitely. Huge continued investment in the Dojo AI supercomputer. They see it as crucial for FSD and for their Optimus robot. They're hiring aggressively in AI too.
But there's pressure, right? Financially, investors must be watching closely.
Huge pressure. Everyone wants to know if they can actually pull off a profitable robotaxi business, especially with vehicle sales trends being what they are. Musk is confident, publicly at least, but the market has questions about timelines and viability.
High stakes. Okay, over to Google. AI seems to be embedding itself even deeper there.
That's a good way to put it. The big number this week was AI overviews in search,
Oh, yeah.
reaching over 1.5 billion monthly users now, over 100 countries. That's massive scale, integrating generative AI right into search.
And they're putting ads in it now.
And start monetizing it, yeah. Ads within the AI overviews.
Look.
Plus, expansion plans continue.
And new Gemini models, too.
Gemini 2.5 Pro, they're calling their most capable reasoning model yet. And Gemini 2.5 Flash, designed for speed, low latency tasks.
The thinking fast model.
Kinda, yeah. Both available for developers now in AI Studio and Vertex AI. And they're powering more and more Google products.
Like, what? Where else is Gemini showing up?
Across the board, really. Maps for AI travel suggestions. Lens for better visual search. Shopping for product discovery. It's becoming the AI backbone.
And they mentioned new hardware, too.
7th Gen TPU, their custom AI chip, called Ironwood. Big performance claims, naturally.
Interesting. There was also something about Waymo's future. And maybe subscriptions.
Yeah, Alphabet, the parent company, is apparently thinking about new ways Waymo could operate. Maybe even selling autonomous cars to individuals eventually.
Personal ownership.
And they're planning new subscription tiers for Gemini AI. Different levels of access or features, presumably. Still early days on those details, though.
And the antitrust stuff is still hanging over them.
Oh yeah, that's ongoing. Always a factor in their strategic move.
Right. Okay, finally, Microsoft. Copilot seems to be their big AI focus, especially for work.
Absolutely. They just announced the Copilot Wave 2 spring release. The headline feature is these new, more advanced AI agents.
Agents, like bots that do stuff for you.
Pretty much. Designed to handle tasks like research, data analysis, automating workflows. They'll be available through a new agent store, integrated into Microsoft 365.
So these agents could potentially manage whole projects.
That's the vision they're painting. Their 2025 Work Trend Index talks about human-led, agent-operated workplaces. You manage your AI team.
Wow.
And they're positioning Copilot as the central hub for all this. The browser for the AI universe, as they put it.
That's quite a statement, a fundamental change to work, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. And to streamline things internally, they're consolidating their AI sales and product teams under a new banner. AI Business Solutions, making it easier for businesses to buy in.
And it's not just for businesses anymore, right? Copilot's coming to personal accounts.
That's right. It's now included in Microsoft 365 personal and family plans. So AI features in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook for regular consumers.
Spreading the AI love.
Spreading the AI, yeah. And like the others, they keep emphasizing trust and security around AI. That's a constant theme.
So looking at these three giants, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, it's just AI everywhere, driving everything.
It really is. It's not a side project for any of them anymore. It's core strategy.
Yeah.
And you can see how the tool and model advancements we talked about earlier are feeding directly into what these companies are building and deploying.
It's all connected. Well, this has been incredibly insightful, a real deep dive. We covered so much ground.
We did.
Yeah.
From these amazing new AI capabilities in tools and models.
Right. The vision, the speech, the generation.
To the huge strategic pushes from Tesla, Google, and Microsoft, integrating AI into transportation, search, work. Everything.
The pace is just staggering.
It truly is. And you can feel AI expanding its reach, Creative work, productivity, transport. It's touching more and more.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? With all this happening so fast.
Yeah.
What parts of your work, your daily life, do you think AI will change the most in the next few years?
Yeah, or even as these super powerful models get baked into everyday tools, what completely new things become possible? What are the new challenges?
Definitely some food for thought there.
It really is. Staying informed, thinking critically about what it all means, it feels more important than ever.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the whirlwind world of AI this week.
My pleasure.
We'll be back soon to unpack another important topic.